couple of days ago, we called for Coach Steve Spurrier after the Jadeveon Clowney hit against Michigan and a big win over Michigan. And Coach kind enough to join us a couple of days later. Coach, how are you?
Hey, Dan. We're doing pretty well down here in Columbia, South Carolina.
How many times have you watched the Clowney hit?
I tell you what, our local TV stations, they keep showing it, and I have to remind them that was not the only play in that game the other day, but it seems to be the only one people want to watch. But it was a heck of a game, and so many players had big plays. It was a big play game, and we were fortunate to make the last one there to win it. But, yeah, the Clowney hit is all over the country.
But if you look at this kid, and you knew you had something special when you recruited him, but he has to stay one more year. Does he need another year of college, in your opinion?
Oh, as far as needing, he could come out of high school probably and gone straight to the NFL and played. Yeah, he's just one of those rare guys that has tremendous strength and quickness and explosive. And he likes playing. He's a good guy. He's really a good teammate also, and he's looking forward to next year. He really is. He wants to see if we can do a little bit better than we've been doing, and 11-2 is pretty good. Yeah. So we've got to do really well to improve, but we hope to.
But I guess you have to. If I'm in his position, I have to be thinking about what happened to Marcus Lattimore. That how it's difficult because this kid's could be the number one pick overall. And you can't play to not get hurt. So do you have advice for him? Or, what do you say to somebody who's got to come back to play and is ready for the NFL now?
You really should probably not think about injuries. We don't have a lot of injuries, but unfortunately, Marcus, he suffered two knee injuries, and it was the right move certainly for him to go pro now. And we all agreed that he needs to get paid next time he plays football. But Jadeveon, he knew it was a 3-year deal, but he's ready. Oh yeah, he's ready for the NFL, and he protects himself pretty well. He's pretty good about staying away from piles and this, that, and the other.
What about Lattimore learning anything from Adrian Peterson with what he went through with his knee surgeries?
Yeah, I tell you what, Dan, he got a call, I think, from Adrian, from Frank Gore, Willis McGahee, all those guys who had some serious knee injuries and came back strong. So his hopes are good, and the doctors really felt like they put that knee back together, and he's walking around well right now. He's right on schedule as far as his rehab. So right now we're very optimistic. He's going to be back full speed.
He's Steve Spurrier, South Carolina head coach, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. We've been talking about spread offense and how these, rookie quarterbacks, second-year quarterbacks, making an imprint here with the NFL. But you were doing this a long time ago. What is different now about these offenses than what you were running, even going back to at Duke?
Well, we didn't run the quarterback the way they're doing it now. We sometimes run quarterback draws and so forth. But that zone read play, it creates problems for those defensive coordinators. You got to allow one defensive player strictly for the quarterback when he's a pretty good runner. And I think it's really helped a lot of those offenses, especially the Redskins and Seattle and so forth. But the quarterback can run occasionally. I don't think he can run a whole bunch, but if you run smart, then that really helps your team, really helps the offense.
If you had advice and opportunity to say something about Chip Kelly going from college to the pros, if that is what he decides to do, what would the big helpful hint, what would you give him a heads up on?
Well, I think that's really it appears that's what he wants to do. And somebody asked me why I went to the NFL, and I said, well, I thought after you coach college 10, 15 years or so, that's what you're supposed to do, and then retire and hang it up and so forth. But obviously we weren't very successful there at Washington, and we just didn't quite put a team together, whatever. But I'm sort of glad it didn't work out because I had an opportunity to come to South Carolina. And this has been a lot of fun, Dan. I don't know if you know the history of South Carolina football, but overall we were actually under 500, the football program, and 100 and something years of ball. So we've made some progress. We still hope to do better, but this has been fun. And the NFL, they call it the No Fun League, NFL No Fun League. And it wasn't much fun for me, but those winning guys, I'm sure they're having fun.
But what's the one surprise that, you make that jump from college to the NFL, and it's not that you didn't know it. You have the football acumen, but there's something that's different when you get to the NFL as opposed to college. What will that be for Chip Kelly?
Well, some people really love grinding, coaching, watching tape, evaluating college players. Some people love football year-round. I'm just not one of those guys. I like grinding from August till the end of that bowl game the other day, and now I'm ready to finish up recruiting. That finishes up like February the 8th or 9th, I think, this year. And then, now it's golf season and travel around, hit the beach a little bit, go up to the Preakness, and I guess I'll see you at Preakness again this year maybe, huh?
Yeah.
And, there's other things in life besides grinding football. So the college life suits me a lot better.
What about the SEC, their, lack of success in the bowl games? What do you make of that?
This year?
Yeah.
Well, I thought Florida would win, and if they had won, our Eastern Division would have gone 4-0. But us, Georgia, and Vandy won our games. But certainly Florida, LSU, and then Mississippi State got beat pretty good. Northwestern's a really good team.
Yeah.
We watched them on tape against Michigan, and they easily could have beat Michigan that game. But we've SEC's a good league, but we're not clearly dominant over all those others. There's good teams, and I really believe whoever plays the best that day, that's the team that's going to win the game.
Who do you got in the national title game?
Well, obviously Alabama's got the best players, I think, in the nation. They recruit better than everyone year in and year out. But Notre Dame, I think they got a fighting chance. They have a knack of winning, and if it's a good close game, they've won a whole bunch of them this year, and that's what certainly they got to hope for. Their defense really has to play well. I don't know how much maybe they can move the ball against Alabama, Notre Dame, but I think it'd be a close one. It'd be fun to watch.
Remember last time you were on and we talked about Alabama, and you said I think they could win on Sundays, and everybody around the country. Now I said, and I was reading into what you were saying. I thought you were kind of putting the pressure on Alabama. You were, having a little bit of fun with it, but you're saying, look, Alabama should be winning these games and put a little bit more pressure on. Or did you really mean that they could beat NFL teams?
Well, there's some NFL teams that obviously haven't been very good. I would think they'd have a chance to beat them, but
so you still stand by that?
It's not going to happen. But college and NFL, the NFL, the worst team gets the first draft pick, and then it goes on down the line. Where the best team gets the last pick in each round.
Yeah. In
college, the best teams get the first picks. I mean, it's like Alabama; they get the first 5, and then the rest of you pick a while, and then we'll take the next. I mean, they get the first 5 in every round, and so it's going. That's how Nick has built really a super dynasty down there, and he's built it. And you got to give him credit for the way he's built it and recruited those players, and they keep recruiting year in and year out. So that's what gives them a chance to do what they've done.
Have you ever gone golfing with him?
Yeah, he plays in the Chick-fil-A. We have a little tournament at Reynolds Plantation each year. We weren't in the same group, but we were there at the same tournament.
How much conversation do you think you'd have if you guys were in the same foursome?
Oh, we have a little bit. Yeah, we'd have a little bit. Yeah, we get along fine. I really admire Nick, and I think I don't know if he'll take that Cleveland job or not, but I don't know. It'll be interesting because he's done almost all you can do in college football, and whether or not the challenge to win a Super Bowl hits him, only he knows.
Wait, would you? Oh, he can't take that Cleveland job. Would you advise him to take it?
Oh, I wouldn't advise him to do anything. He can make his own decisions. But if winning a Super Bowl is something he'd like to do before he hung up his coaching whistle, some job somewhere he may go for it.
You're fun though. You're playing mind games here. You're throwing it out there now about he
needs. You've already won 3 or 4 national championships. How many do you want to win before you go win a Super Bowl?
You would like for him to go, wouldn't you?
No, it doesn't matter. No, we don't play Alabama. Hopefully, maybe we may meet them in a championship game, but they're not one of our big rivals. But I don't know. It's just something personal. If winning a Super Bowl is something down the line, one of his bucket list or whatever that, gosh, you couldn't blame him because he's already done all you can in college football.
Well, enjoy your downtime there, Coach, and
Okay, Dan,
I'll
good
see you over the summer.
All righty.
All right.
See ya.
Steve Spurrier. How good is he?